Grand Rising. Welcome. My name is Edward Giles, aka the Holistic Motivator. Thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of the Holistic Lifestyle Show. This show is a show where we introduce holistic wellness professionals, entrepreneurs, seekers, and teachers come together to share what they learn along their path in becoming the best version of themselves. I'm so happy to introduce this new show. The reason why I launched this show is because I realized that there's a need to spread different ways of maintaining your wellness, different ways of increasing your vitality. And today I have a special guest on the show. I'm so excited to introduce everybody to Imogen Williams. I'm going to be talking about healing through movement and dance. So let's get you on the stage. Yes, I'm so excited because I had a show called Unlimited Power. Well, I still have the same show. And I had a studio where I would introduce different guests like authors and speakers and holistic doctors. Actually, that's how I met my mentor. And it was through the show that I actually met a lot of great people that taught me some of the things I learned, like Qigong and various other practices. So, Imogen, welcome to the. I want to make sure I pronunciate your name correctly.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Imogen, right?
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just enjoying nature. I'm outside.
Right.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Where
I was
are
just gonna say, oh, well, I'm in Los Angeles.
Nice.
Where are you?
I'm in Miami, Florida.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks nice and bright. I mean, it's sunny out here too, but you're outside. That's
Yeah.
really...
I try to build my studio outside. I've been outside since like 6 a.m. I'm just doing.
Oh, that's the best time. The morning air. You
Yes.
know, the morning sun.
It's that good product.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So how's Los Angeles right now?
Well, I mean, it's okay, but I mean, so they're saying that, like, with, the pandemic and everything, it's still on lockdown because there are a lot of, like, I guess the cases, they're just steadily rising. And so, yeah, I mean, but it's cool. My kids and I, we go to the beach and it's not really crowded, and we just, take walks. It's still pretty, it's okay.
So let's do an introduction. So I like to say, if I met you on the bus and we were just, I just went to Los Angeles. I just went to, and I didn't know anybody, and I'm just taking the train, and I met you. And I'm like, hey, my name is Ed, aka the Holistic Motivator, and we were to have a conversation. And I said, what did you do? What do you do? What would you say back to me?
Well, the first thing I would say is that I'm a mom of 2 boys, and I'm their primary caretaker right now, so I'm with them 24/7, so, that's a big job. But also, I'm a dancer and a movement coach, a mindful movement coach. My objective is to really help people feel good in their bodies, through gentle movement, and also, but physically and spiritually and emotionally, feel good in your bodies, because it's not just about the aesthetic or what's on the outside. It's really about, how you feel on the inside. And so I work with people to really love where they are first, and then, if it's change that they desire, start from the inside first in order to see change on the outside. And yeah, I've been dancing for a large portion of my life. It's hard to say when I started, but I would say I started when I was like Probably, maybe, I think that was maybe like 8 or so. I did my first performance. And then I just was dancing around in my living room. And then I told my mom I wanted to do like dance lessons. And so that's when I started like formal training a couple of years, few years later. Um, and yeah, dance has like just been my outlet, my preferred way of expression is through movement. Um, and I really feel that like movement is healing. Movement. Everyone needs to move, whether you're a dancer or not, whether you feel like you're a good dancer or not. Just move, because it's movement is life, right? Our insides, our blood is flowing. That's movement. And once we stop moving, that's we're not alive, um, and so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I love it. I think inside out. I We're gonna break down a couple of the things, and so basically, when you say movement is an expression, or moving is expressing yourself, and then you're also saying working from the inside out. How do you work from within yourself and express what's in you outside in your dance? Like literally when you're dancing, how does that feel within your body?
How does it feel? Well, so that is that's a good question, and it's kind of tough to answer, but it's one of the things that I feel makes dance so intriguing,
Hmm?
right? Because you're able to take an intangible feeling and put it into a tangible like expression.
Mm.
And I think it really just cut and to be able to do that, you really have to let go of what's going on up here and come into the body. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's a great feeling, because I know for me, I spend a lot of time in my head. I overthink. I get, yeah, that's the main thing. I overthink. I think with this person, sometimes my head just gets there's just so much going on up there. And so to be able to take that moment and get out of there, get out of the head and come into my body, it's like, it's grounding, it is like, it relieves stress, or it, yeah, it like helps to reduce stress. Um, Sometimes it's like empowering, because you make new discoveries about your body. It's like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that, so that's like that really boosts your confidence, and yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I just wanted you to explore that. I think the way you put it was beautifully said. That's amazing. The the next question I'd ask is, you're a mindful movement coach, right?
Mhm.
So can you explain to us, what does it mean to mindfully move rather than just like regular movement? What is the difference between mindful movement and just moving?
So when you're so I think it's the intention, for one, it's moving out of a place. I think, especially like in fitness, right? Like a lot of focus is on attaining these, like I said before, like these physical goals, like we want our bodies to look a certain way.
Mhm.
Um, and, as I said before, it's like it's about loving yourself, like moving from a place of love, not moving out of a place of, you know, like dislike or whatever, because you're trying to fix, you think you try to fix yourself, but like really appreciating the body that you have and what it can do, as opposed to like wanting to change it, just um, and so that's the first thing, is moving from a place of love. And then also like moving with intention, you know, 'cause I think with certain like fitness moves, like you can easily, I mean, it's nice to like zone out, but sometimes we don't pay attention to like, um, you know, certain important muscles, or like sometimes if you're moving without being mindful, you can like injure yourself, you know, if you're not paying attention. And so really bringing awareness to your body and where it is in the space, and moving slowly, you know, that's so underestimated. Like moving slowly is really, there's a lot of power in that, and often, and you know, a lot of times you find when you slow things down, it becomes more challenging. And also slowing down makes, I like to say this a lot, slowing down makes room for making new discoveries. um, you know, you can, and like the body is just so amazing. Like there's lots of, so many different muscles, so many different joints. And so that like for example, like if you were to like try to move your middle toe, right, like that's, you find that's really hard. But that's because like our brain, we've like, just because of our culture, and you know, our brain is, we've kind of lost the connection between our brain and certain parts of our bodies. And so mindful movement is like, again, moving with that intention, trying to just wake up those different parts of our bodies that like have sort of, we've lost the connection to, or have gone to sleep, because you know, we sit a lot, we drive a lot, we sit in front of computers. And so like, you know, there, like, you know, like for example, like the deep core muscles, you know, those may not be used because, or the hip flexors, you know, they might get tight or weaken because we sit so much. We don't like, you know, we don't squat, or we don't sit on the floor, or we don't, you know, if you look at a child, like my son who's 2, he does everything in a deep squat, and it's effortless. Like I am trying to gain that position back, you know, like I've lost
Yeah,
it.
they got it. They got it for free, naturally.
Yeah, yeah. And so but that's, you know, I mean, if you look at people, there are, you know, different cultures where, you know, they do a lot from the deep squat, you know. And so I think, you know, but the wonderful thing about our body and our brain is that it's plastic, so we can reclaim, you know, that strength and that ability, that agility, that flexibility. You know, we can reclaim all of those if we just like mindfully move, you know.
I totally agree. It's like reverting back to natural movements.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about natural movements, what are some natural movements that we should be able to do to be like a child, right? To open ourselves up, right? What are some of those things? What are some of those areas that are normally really tight that we should get loose in, that we should go back to how we were once before?
Yeah. So I would say, you know, start with like the major joints, and it's like really simple. You know, you think, so first thing is the spine, right? Like move the spine, move your head up and down, move your shoulders, you know, your shoulders, and then your spine, you know, flexing and extending the spine. You know, if you do cat cow like in yoga, um, and then like the hips, bringing mobility to the hips, right? Like I mentioned, the hip flexors, the psoas muscle, that gets really tight from like sitting. So if you can
Mhm.
you can do, you know, that a very simple psoas stretch where, um, where you're kneel, you know, you have one knee on the floor, and then the other foot up. We can look it up, just a psoas stretch. Um, and
And that
then
also has to do with anger too.
yes, with anger and with stress. Yep, the psoas muscle is the fight or flight muscle, and so when
Hmm.
that being tight can increase your stress level, your stress
Yes.
levels. Yep. So and then also just like for women when they're pregnant, that muscle being nice and like I guess like loose and mobile, that creates like more space for the baby. You know, it's a really interesting muscle. And then also the feet, the ankles and the feet. Um,
So let's go through the list again. We have you said the spine.
Spine. So the spine, so the moving your head and your neck and your shoulders, and then flexing and extending the spine.
Okay.
The hips,
The hips.
psoas muscle,
Psoas.
and then the ankles and the feet.
So all from head to toe.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. So
If I had, I mean, you know, obviously there's more, but if I could, I would just focus on those. Yeah.
yeah, I mean I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah. Mhm.
So when you first started to learn how to dance, what were the baby steps that you took? Like what were the milestones where you was just like, man, after this milestone you grew from there?
Um. Well, so it was. Well, let's see. So I started, like I said, just kind of like making up dances on my own, like just performing for like my mom and my sister.
Hmm.
But I did, and my sister was a dancer. So she was the one who, and my sister, because my dad and my mom separated when I was young. So my sister was, she was like 10 years older than me. And she kind of, my mom had to go to work and stuff like that. So my sister was like, played a very instrumental role in like raising me, and she like pretty much took me everywhere. And so she just like kind of would take, you know, bring me and have get me involved with the performances. But she started with me like with just like learning how to stretch, and and then like I went to a performing arts middle elementary and middle school. And so I kind of started like in a non-traditional way, because I didn't start with training. I just started doing my own thing. Like I choreographed for our show, for our little performance that we had at my school. Um, and then after that, I went into formal training. I think with like most dancers, they start with like formal training first. But I really like felt good doing it, and so that's when I was like, okay, I wanna act. And actually it was like my teacher, she said like you should get some formal training.
Hmm. So
um
you would say when you gain flexibility, that that was like a major milestone. It would be.
yeah,
Then
when my yep.
and then
But
after that
but
you just yeah,
no, I was just gonna say, but it really started with like the passion and the just the feeling it gave me, like
the feeling, that emotion.
hmm yeah.
I love it. I'm always trying to dig into like the like what really got you passionate about what you do. So
Yeah.
I wanted to add some value to everybody watching in the sense of like the way your art benefits your mental wellness and your mental health. I wanted you to add some value in the sense of when you would help somebody, like when you would coach and walk them through your process, what would be three major things that would be you would you would make sure that they actually do, you know what I mean, or that you would recommend? What would be your top three recommendations based on your art and everything you've acquired so far?
For someone who, sorry, for like anyone, or
Like if
for
you were to coach a typical person who's watching now, right? A
mhm,
typical person that you normally coach with mindful movement, and you
right.
would tell them three things to that will help them achieve peace or achieve wellness, or release their peace. What would those top three things be?
Okay. um so the top three things, so to achieve peace or like to achieve wellness, I would say, for one, really find out like why. The number one thing would be like your like why are you doing it? What's like think about like what you want to achieve or how it makes you feel. Because that is something that you can always come back to. Life throws so many things at us, especially when we're trying to like accomplish something. Like if it's to accomplish wellness or to accomplish peace, um, so many things are gonna try to come and like stop us or discourage us. And so you really gotta think about what you want and why you're doing it, and how it makes you feel. I feel like maybe that's three things: like what you want, why you're doing it, and how it makes you feel, and really like ingrain that in your heart so that no matter what, you can keep going and you can like achieve it.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. So, what you want, why you want it, and how it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I want to share something on that tip. What you want is your desire. Why you want it, meaning your why, your reason for being, the purpose. And what was the third one? Did I
How
just
how it makes you feel.
and how it makes you feel. And then now, how it makes you feel is going to be the, what does this say? The pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the pleasure component, how it makes you feel. So we have desire, we have purpose, and then we have pleasure. Desire, purpose, pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. So desire. Let's talk about the fire desire. So I want to share something with you. The reason why dance is so important from a Chinese medicine perspective, and we're going to talk about Qigong, is that
Okay.
when you move your body, when you actually move your body, like you swing your arms and you do different movements, you're actually not just, you're actually literally working inside out, just like you said,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because your meridians are flowing again, right? So there are specific movements in different meridians that are activated when you move. So, for example, if you look at your arm, well, you can't really see my arm, but down your arm, you have three meridians. You have the lung, the heart, and the pericardium, right? So if you have three acupuncture meridian going down here, whenever you move your arm like this, just the swaying your arm is like all these energy channels are, all the flow, any obstruction is actually being relieved, right? Just by moving your arms, whatever movement that you're doing, right? This one, the lung swim, which is this movement, is for the breath and also opens up the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
right? Also activating different meridians. So what are meridians? Energy channels. Think about your body. You have a physical body, which has a circulatory system, but you also have an energy system. And these channels go throughout your entire, you have 12 major channels, if you want to say it like that. Now, I just explained three on your arm. If there are blocks along the channels, then you can feel your desire, your desire, your passion, and then you won't reap the pleasure because your energy now is thrown off. So what we're talking about here is not just dance, but it's medicine. So
Mm-hmm.
dancing is healing because
Yeah.
when you move with grace, you allow your energy to rebalance, which then brings you to the side of vitality and health. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm very interested in what you do. What you're doing now is changing the world and is needed. Dance, mindful movement, and putting it together with healing and working through your pain is amazing, right? So I just wanted to share that with everybody from so yeah. Let's talk about qigong. You say you also have incorporated qigong in your movements, and you actually learned qigong. Tell us about your experience with qigong, your experience with energy, your experience with uh, with Eastern philosophy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I first I would say got exposed to some of the principles, or was in college. I went to liberal arts college, and I studied dance and psychology. And it was really interesting, because I went from like a very traditional like dance training to like this like liberal arts, like postmodern contemporary type training, where we did a lot of like, I was, at the time I felt it was like weird, but but I had a teacher who um, incorporated like Qigong. So we did like the tapping, we did the I'm not sure this is what this the I think like the twisting of the spine, where you
Yeah,
like let your arms
yeah.
knock your,
Three
and then you let your
whips.
arms knock. What's it called?
Well, I call it the three whips.
Okay.
It's like you whip because you're whipping. That's what it's called for me. But
Yeah.
it's to work your spine. It's to literally squeeze out the dirty water and,
Okay.
and
Okay.
allow
So
the
yeah.
cerebrospinal fluid to flow freely.
Okay. Yeah. And and my kids, my son, they love doing.
Yeah,
They
I
love
love.
it. And yeah, and so it started there, and then like when the pandemic started or whatever, like I just like started like doing like more things, like started YouTube videos, looking at YouTube videos, and but I had already, and then when I started like looking at it, I'm like, wow, I've already been doing this, because of my exposure to it in college, and like I was incorporating it like in when I do my classes. We always start with tapping, we do spinal twists, and also like I had another movement coach who um, incorporated like, well, he called it like chi stepping. So it's like a really slow, like stepping and like just walking, but like really slow, where you kind of, and like you take it nice and slow so that you really see like from the toe to the ball to the heel, like how
Yeah,
you're transferring your weight and how you're moving through space. And
yeah,
and like this, so it kind of all, it just came full circle, and then I realized like that I was doing qigong without even knowing that I was doing it, but it also like when I was doing, especially like those actual like qigong classes like from the internet, like it just felt so good. Like it felt like I just felt so open, and and it was also like working up a sweat, like, or like working with like very slow movement. Like I say, like slow movement is so underestimated. Like you can really, it's so challenging and so beneficial, so powerful.
moving slow
Um,
is amazing.
yes. And like you just like, because there's so many muscles, so many little joints, and so when you can just come out of, like I said, like bring your mind into your body, it's just I mean, I feel like that, it's a movement meditation, and it that's a time where I feel like you enter your flow. It's a time where like nothing else matters, and you can really, just be one with your body, and you can like have a conversation with your body. Your body can tell you, what it needs, and we need to have that connection. That connection is so important.
I love it. Converging everything, becoming one.
Hmm.
Like I love that. Grounding yourself.
Yeah. Yep. And also, like, something that I experienced, I want to go back. I mean, because I know we're not doing this a lot right now, but like moving together and being in that space in a room full of people is so powerful. You know, um, I so I for a moment I was interested in, like, I mean, I still am, but I wanted, when I first got to college, I wanted to study neuroscience, because I said that I wanted to understand how, which is what I'm doing, I guess, like how movement and dance affect the brain. Um, and so in my like reading about neuroscience, I learned about like mirror neurons and how like when you're moving with someone, you can your neurons will actually reflect. Um, I don't know if I'm like explaining it right. It's such a long time, but like your neurons will reflect one another. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can influence someone by like moving with them. You can
Yes.
bring your emotions to them and your feelings to them by moving with them. So it's like it's just such a it's a way of transcending the barriers that exist between us. Movement is a way of transcending those barriers. I just have one experience I want to talk about. One word in regards to that. I just thought about it. Like 8 years ago, I was a part of this traveling organization, and we went to Egypt. And none of us spoke Arabic, or that's the language that's spoken in Egypt, right? Yeah. And so, but we went to this school with young women, and we didn't speak the same language, but we danced together, and we danced for like such a long time. We had such a great time. It was like we were communicating through the dance. So like just language barriers, cultural barriers. It can really transcend all of that movement. It's universal.
It's it's a silent, not so silent language.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
silent language that ring loud in the soul of the person being communicated.
yeah.
That's how powerful dance is.
Hmm.
And I wanted to say something about the mirror neurons. I remember my teacher. He was saying, listen, if you have somebody who you think should benefit from doing the qigong, and they don't want to do the qigong, or they can't do it for some reason, and I'm saying qigong, and we could substitute this with dance. If they don't want to do it, all you got to do it is just do it in front of them, and they will get the benefits. And then he said that that's what his teacher told him, and I was like, okay, how would they get the benefit of you doing it? So it was kind of like a puzzling thing. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right, they're gonna get the benefits. And then I had to really, really think about it. It didn't really. The first year I heard it, it didn't quite stick. Even the second year, I didn't really understand what they meant by that.
Yeah.
But when I really learned about the mirror neurons, plus I learned something else. I learned that the more people see your consistency and they see your progress, the more they want to do it.
Oh yeah.
So at first I thought about it, I was like, if you do it for them, not only when they can't do it, they will get the benefit, but when they finally build up the courage, they're gonna want to do it. And at the same time, you doing it for them when they don't have the courage is what fills them up so that they can have the courage, good energy to now
Hmm.
do it. Because sometimes people don't feel like dancing, you don't feel like doing anything,
Yeah.
but somebody come around you and start doing some moves in your face and like, come on, get hype, sis. And you're like,
Yeah.
nah, I ain't trying, I'm not on that right now. But then all of a sudden you find your face transforming. So if I start smiling at you, you're gonna all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're gonna feel better because I'm smiling. But
Yeah.
if I look
Yeah.
at you like this, all of a sudden you will test weaker.
Yeah.
So if you put out your arm and somebody, and if I look at you with a smile, you will be much stronger. Like try this with a friend. If you're with your best friend, put your arm out, right? And
Uh-huh.
have your best friend push your arm down, or have your son or spouse or family member or friend push your hand down and smile at you, right? So he's gonna smile at you. Put your hand down. See the courage. But if the person frowns at you, your
Mm.
hand is probably going to push down. This is a test that they did, an experiment, and it's so basically there's your brain literally gets weakened or strengthened by somebody's face. So some of like some people you can't afford to be around their face for too long. I'm just saying, because if they frown at you long enough, you're gonna get weak. So, so what I found out that he meant by doing the qigong for someone is, first, be the discipline you wish to see in someone else, and second, by cultivating your own energy, you can transform the energy field of someone else.
Yeah.
Because what I discovered about qigong is your energy field is not just like solid on you, right? You have when they say like your aura, when they talk about your aura, right? They're not just talking about in the sense of what's radiating from at the skin. It's the field way past it. It's a field you can't see, right? The aura spreads like, if we could really see it, it'd be like a radiant energy, right? From the crown up, your aura would be like, you'd be like very, and then the more your energy is built, the more that you're walking around. It's like a big circle of nice energy. So sometimes I walk, like, I don't know. Sometimes I walk into rooms and I'm like, I see a transformation in the room because I walked in there. That's how I see myself. I see myself as a positive aura, right? And I sense it sometimes. And other times it's not the same, because sometimes you might have the RBF face on, hoodie on. Some days I'm one of those, I'm like, don't talk to me.
Right.
Stay away from me. And then I could see the aura transforming down. So I just said all of that to say is, when we get these tools of vitality and we start doing it for ourselves, we can literally build up our energy. So when we walk around people, first of all, we start to buzz the bugs. There are like bugs, right? Those are the things that's annoying. When your aura gets illuminated and strengthened, by that I mean when your energy field, when you do these things that's going to build you up, you walk around and things try to bug you, you just zap them. It's like your energy can't touch me. Like, can't touch this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can't get you. So doing these practices, not only do they do that, they have something called, what is it called? What is it called again? I got to share this science on you. It's called proprioception.
Proprioception.
Proprioception. That's
Proprioception. Yeah.
There we go. My accent just kicked in.
That's fine.
From the island, I'm from Haiti. I'm just coming from the book. I'm just playing.
But I love Haitian accent.
So proprioception. When you do these movements, not only does your aura, but also your consciousness of space and time changes. So let me tell you about cool stories. I be running, like, I'm running down the street, and if there's like I could limbo right underneath a branch without even, like, and see it go past my chin like this. Look at it. Like, tip my chin back and look at it.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or like, there's like, I promise you, I am not making this up. Or like, there's like a leaf right here. I'm about to hit it. Like, you think I'm about to hit it, right? Psych, I just dodged it. You know what I mean? The idea of space and time. Or the worst part, the side of the bed. Now, I still get hit by the side of the bed, but I used to be way more clumsy than way more. I'm not anymore, not that much. I could dodge the side of the bed now. That's proprioception. So that's what dance, and that's what movement, and that's what the Qigong do for you. And it's life-changing. It's life-changing.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned, I homeschool my kids, and I've been trying to, like, we do a lot of movement, like a lot of our learning is movement based. And so I learned that there are actually 9 senses. Like, we think there are 5, but there are 9 senses, and proprioception is one of those senses. Like, it's, how we take in information from our environment. Like, we take in information from our environment through movement, and like the last 4 senses, you have your sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing,
Hmm.
sound, and then the last four all have to do with movement. So it's just movement is it plays a major role in how we develop. How
Hmm.
we develop, how we relate to each other, how we relate to the environment. Like so important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like tapping into and then they got like, when you have everything the things you cannot see are the most powerful, right?
Mhm.
So the remainder of the four, some of these things are just like knowing without knowing. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm sitting right now and somehow I know somebody's about to cross that corner right there. I don't really know it, but I know it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I can feel the movement, and then right when the person come, I can dodge it right there and just like run, because it's just like all of that is the it's like it has a lot to do with your intuition,
Mhm.
right? And it has a lot of shuns in it, right? Proprioception,
Yeah.
right? Intuition,
Yeah.
intention, like attention, and like also just being in tune.
Mhm.
So I love it. I love the fact that by just moving, you could change a lot of these things. So tell the we are going to link up soon, and
Yeah.
we're going to do a class, right? Together, you're going to do a
Yeah.
class, and we want to invite the people out so that they
Mhm.
could attend this class and hopefully sign up for your ongoing classes and other services you have to offer. So let's talk about, tell the people, what are you going to put in this class for them? What should they expect?
Okay, so you can expect some breath work, again, setting that intention, really, with the mind, really creating that, like, that vision. What do you want to, yeah, setting the intention. What do you want to, like, this class is going to be for you, so you're going to set the tone for yourself. You're going to set, you know, we're going to start off with you, deciding and affirming what you want out of it. So it's so you're
Yes.
that's major. And we do that with the breath work, and then we go through all those parts that I mentioned. We bring mobility to those parts, and we do some we do slow movements that will really wake up those parts of the body that because of our lifestyles and because of the culture may most times are asleep, um, and then we move into the dance element. So we're gonna get our groove on. We're gonna do some simple grooves, to some music, and we're gonna do like some more coordinated movements. And then you get an opportunity to connect all of those on your own. So we're gonna do our like a guided movement exploration but it's not I'm just going to be setting the tone, giving certain words or cues, but you're going to move so that that's your space to do what you want and to connect to your body in the way that you want.
I love
And so we do all of that in the mindful movement class, love and flow mindful movement.
That's awesome. So what are some other things that you have to offer for the people? You got the class. What else do you have going on? And how can everyone watching here can support you? First of all, if you're watching right now, I want to thank you for showing up for yourself and allowing two melanated wellness entrepreneurs who love their craft share something about health and wellness with you today. Thank you for being here.
Yes,
If you
thank
haven't
you.
shared this video to 5 friends, share it, comment done. And at the same time, show some love. Show some love. Follow both of us. If you're following me, go ahead and follow Emojine on her profile. Just click. You're going to see I'm live with. Click her, follow, come back, do your thing. And follow me, the Holistic Motivator. And
Yes.
and then come back, do your thing. And then now let's just the idea of showing up to the class, right? After you've seen the interview, and now you're like, man, I should start dancing. You can DM Imogen about the class or DM me about the class, right? We're gonna do a class together, and then Imogen has her own classes that you could attend on your when she has them, and as you intersect, you'll be able to learn more about that. So go ahead, support. Thank you for already being here and showing up for you. So gratitude.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It's really oh, I was reading a comment.
I don't know what does that mean. Spiritual tweaking, you meant? You mean tweaking?
No, but you know what? Twerking is spiritual. The movement, that's movement of the spine.
Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, okay, now I get it. Dance. No, my bad. I'm totally off. But hey, no, that's actually that. It can be actually, yeah.
Yeah.
With affirmations and the way you would set it up for the sacral chakra, you know.
The intention. Yeah.
Intention is everything.
Yeah.
So maybe, are you gonna come up with that class? Because you know I can't come up with that. I'm gonna be banned. I can't. I can't say. I'm just introducing spiritual twerking by the holistic motivator. Everybody, it's not gonna work for me. It's not. I'll let that to the ladies. All right. So, yep. Anywho.
Yeah, it will draw a crowd.
So yeah, maybe we'll set that up one day.
Right.
All right. So yeah, how can the people support you?
Well, you can support by following me, like I said, and then also I have a link on my page in my bio. You can go there. You can sign up. You can sign up for my email list, or you can reach out to me if you want to do. Right now, I'm just doing one-on-one work, but if you're interested in that, and then just stay connected. Follow me. Sign up for the email list so that you can find out when I do start doing like group classes. And then also, I'm wearing this T-shirt. Okay, I'm wearing this T-shirt here. I also sell T-shirts. So I have my brother who's been incarcerated for the past over 20 years. He was arrested as a minor and charged as an adult, and he's a painter. And he's a self-taught artist. He taught himself how to paint while, after being in prison. And he, had a mental, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia also after he got incarcerated. So art has also, another form of art that's healing, visual art, painting. He's used it to heal throughout these years. And so if you want to purchase a shirt to support our family, support him, you can also find that on the website. Just go to shop Love and Light or Love and LYT. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, I loved it. I loved our
you.
conversation today. I think it was amazing.
No, it was. Thank you so much. Like, very enlightening and really great to connect.
Yes. So we have to keep sharing our crafts, keep sharing the things that change our lives. Like when we each one teach one, right? As you acquire tools, you share them, right? And if the person is not willing to take this tool and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to make this fire. They're like, nah, I'm straight. You got that. Just make that fire. They're going to be cold in that corner. And they're going to be like, man, this person is wrong. I need to go over to that side. They'll be like, yo, you might show me how to make that fire again. I'll be like, I thought you didn't want to learn, huh? You cold now. So keep making your fire. Yeah. So I call it the fire of desire. When you given a desire to do something, it's like you just got to keep that fire running and turn that desire into passion, which is like a flame, right? But then, passion is nice, but, we have different passions. So the flame is not always, but then there's the next thing, is the knowing without knowing. Then we go to the spot where we let intuition guide us. First, we just have desires. I might want to do that. As a kid, you're like, I want to be a CSI agent. I said, I want to be a doctor. Now I think I'm more going towards being when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be a CSI agent, and then an entrepreneur, and then, yeah, that was it. But I guess now I'm okay. Anyways, I'm losing track. The story is the story is desire to passion, and then to intuition led, and then now you just led by the spirit, by the unknown. You just know what to do without knowing. You just know. No, you just know it. It's called faith. That just pulls you through everything. So that's the final message I wanted to share with y'all. I am so happy I've introduced the Holistic Lifestyle Show, and you was the first guest.
Yay! Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And also, I just want to thank you because, your content is very, it's just so encouraging and so motivating. I mean, the Holistic Motivator, that you have that name for a reason. But, I'm definitely encouraged by, your content. So thank you so much.
Thank you for
it's
that.
like an honor. It's an honor that you, saw me and decided to have me on. Thank you so much.
It's awesome. Your vibe will attract your tribe.
Yeah. I look forward to we definitely to staying connected, and I look forward to doing the class. And
yes,
I look forward to taking your Qigong class. I still haven't been able to take it, but
so yeah, so Thursday we're gonna do the class, and all week you're invited, and everybody here is invited to try any of the 7 a.m. classes, the Qigong class, and we could do it. So today I spoke of the 6 healing breaths.
Okay.
And we was doing the sounds with the organs. In fact, we could do a little. It's 12:52. We're gonna do a post show. Y'all down for that?
Okay.
So I had showed the 6 healing breaths. So each organ is associated with a color, associated with an element, and associated with a specific sound. And if you are struggling with an emotion that relates to maybe fear or worry or anxiety or anger, then your different organs are actually being depleted of vital energy or the life force energy or chi. So by visualizing certain colors and then making certain sounds, you can literally rebalance your internal organs and your emotions. So the kidneys have to do with which emotion? Which limiting emotion? Fear, right? Kidney fear, spleen, worry. You got liver, anger. You got lungs and grief. And then we have the heart, right? And so we have so many different emotions attached to the organs. You know what? That's gonna be a little preview. If you want to get this whole how to do it, I'm not gonna do it at the end of the show. Should I? Should I not? What do you think? I think we should just keep that for the class. If you wanna get the full details, come to the class. Because I realize we wanna just end the episode and then we'll just another time. Okay, so thank y'all for watching. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I just gave you a little sneak preview of what to expect when you see 2 great spirits combine their arts that bring forth Qigong and dance together. So cut through, send us a DM so you could get access to this class, right? So she only does private sessions, and I'm giving you an exclusive access to a group class for the first time. And we're combining forces. I mean, come on now. If you don't sign up in the next 5 minutes, offer is going to go down. So make sure you sign up for the class. You got 5 minutes. All right. All right. So that's my little after show. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank
Any
you.
final words of encouragement?
Just remember your light and let that shine bright. It
Hey,
rhymed.
that's my ending. So, I'm gonna say my ending and closing. Hold on. I want to
Okay.
remind you that you have the unlimited power within you to achieve whatever it is that you want and to create the person that you were meant to be. But first, you got to believe it in order to achieve it. And until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it.
That was much better.
No, that's just I've been saying that for I think I've been saying that for like 2.5 years now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like when you start the journey, you start to pick up. Like I started with a mission, a statement I said every time, and then I started with a ending or a beginning, and then just catchphrases and statements. You
Yeah.
just everybody have their own. You're gonna
Yeah.
develop your own inside language.
Yeah.
It is awesome. All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who showed up.
Thank you everybody for watching. Drop a clap. Drop a clap for Emojine. She killed it. She lived it. She lived it. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
y'all. Stay blessed. I'm heading out of here.
Yes. Take care.
Bring the energy and the good vibes. Have a great day.
Thanks.